For a long while I thought these spindle bearings were the cause of some of the weird play I found. So I have to just get over it and find the causes for them for the problem somewhere else. I marked the block I want to use for a travel stop, and I just compared it to the fixed steady and marked it so I can remove most of the material with a mill somewhere else. I also checked my lead screw. First I circled the thread and to make sure it's single start, and it is. And the outer diameter is I think it's 3/8 inch, 5/8 I mean. It's metric pitch. I just took a multiple of the threads and measured it at length to make sure there wasn't a slight error. And it is a metric lead screw, 2mm pitch, with a imperial outer diameter. I also decided I want to try scraping. I haven't decided yet if I want to scrape the dovetails or not, but it's a skill I want to learn anyways. So I've asked online and I've found some help, and I will make two scrapers, one 25mm wide and one 20mm wide, from 4mm cold rolled steel. And I found hardened tool bits, and I found someone in the neighborhood who wants to sell one, and I ordered one online. So that's something I'm working on. I also ordered this bluing to help me with the scraping. I tried it with some magic marker, but that's not suitable for that, I think. Stuff I want to scrape are, for example, this block for the travel stop. I already milled the flat yesterday. It's a bit too shallow, the cutout for the prism, but that's what I wanted. I will measure them in a moment, but stuff like this I want to scrape. And if everything works out and I'm getting a bit of experience with it, then I'll decide if I want to scrape the dovetails. So I also have to measure the width of the prisms. This one is 15mm. Measure it on the outside. This reached 10.8. And this side now reached 14.85, so that's a bit weird. So here's the bearing housing. So this is what's inside the sensor. It's a Lathe and a photodiode. And when I opened the lathe for the first time, this cover was on, but not flat to the base of these components, but a bit at an angle like this. And I thought it was just soldered on incorrectly to allow for some adjustment or misalignment or something, but I had to adjust it back to get it back in at a nice straight angle. I reinstalled the sensor. There are two half rings screwed directly onto the spindle. And one revolution has 16 openings, and when it rotates, the light in this bridge is blocked 16 times per revolution, which generates a pulse train, which is used by the motor controller and also for the rev counter to calculate the revolutions per minute. So I've been practicing scraping, but I realized I can also check the dovetails. And I don't think it's very visible. And this does not look very good. I hope you can see this, but there's some blue over here, here along the edge, and here, and this corner, and a bit on this side. So this one isn't making proper contact. But I think I have to put a bit more blue on it. This is a bit too much. I tried using a roller, but didn't work that well. Just trying to spread out the blue. There's a bit more on it now. Oh well, this shows up a lot better. Still not enough contact area. I did try to smooth this on a piece of waterproof sanding paper, fine grit with oil, a while ago, a few years. So maybe it got a bit off then, but yeah, this doesn't look very good. It should be a full contact area. Now top side. Also not proper contact. I don't know, maybe it's the surface plate. Don't know if I can check it for straightness, but there's only two points of contact here. But this one sticks out. So maybe I can test it like this. The contact area it usually has. Not much better. So this one isn't good either. What I said about the sanding paper, I was trying to sort of polish moving parts a bit. They were quite rough. I tried to be careful, but maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I didn't. This is bottom of the cross slide. Bottom of the top slide. I mean, and this is a bit weird contact. I would expect a contact point over here. Just put another layer on it. Yeah. It even rocks. It's not a good sign. These 3 points. Now these 3. Not much contact. So if I really want to improve my lathe, I really have to do something about this. And that's gonna be a lot of work. So I better start scraping then. I mean the practicing. I've got a test piece and I've scraped here. I roughed it up again. But I've been doing passes of scraping, then roughing it up and scraping again, and just trying it, regrinding my scraper. But I think I'll show that in a separate video. Other things I can do is drill the this one, drill the extra hole I want to do. Want to open up these holes to get some countersunk screws in here. If I don't use countersunk screws, then I can't use my my tool holder and it can't rotate. So I have to get them in here. I can still do some stuff, but this is a bit worse than I expected. So I gave the roller another try. I think the trick was to preload it. Just fill it up. It's for wallpaper instead of for paint, so it's not soaking up all the glue. But I wanted to try this one again. Now this direction. Don't feel it rock. So, kind of wondering if I get the same print if I put it on the surface plate on a different angle, just to see what I can expect from the surface plate. Plate's a bit too small for this part. Looks like a bit more contact than previous try, but I think the paint is on, I mean the bluing is on a bit too thick. I think it drags along the surface. But I could be wrong. A lot of this stuff is new for me. What I have over here, just this tiny section is a bit more like what I should be seeing, I think. Small area with a lot of high spots and low spots, but only if you know these spots don't differ that much in height. Here are the gips or the clamps which hold the saddle on the bed. And these are attached to the bottom of the saddle. And there's only 2 contact points here. I don't know how this behaves if the center bolt is tightened. Maybe it bends in and makes a bit more contact, but this one at least has a bit more contact. So these require some work too. I redid the bluing on these parts, and this one had a burr in one of these holes. Normally it wouldn't touch the surface because it fits in here and it's clamped to another part. But on the surface plate it was rocking because of this burr. So I removed it, and this part looks a bit better now. It doesn't rock anymore. But still these contact areas don't look very promising. So I did a couple of passes on this part. Looks a lot better now. The layer is actually a lot thinner. Layer of bluing, I mean, on the surface plate. And you can see there are still some long lines in here. And I think they're not supposed to be there for a good surface. So this one needs some more work, but it's just practice. I drilled a hole in the top slide to make a lock. Now I'm gonna tap it. I disengaged the spring system here, which I modified a while ago. There's a video about it or 2 on my channel. But I'm not using the force to pull down the chuck. It's heavy enough. I upgraded it, but I think this one is a bit too big for this size of drill press. But now I'm gonna tap the whole M4, just like the gip tightening screws.